Welcome back. Yes, we are here. I'll just PM the members and tell them that we're live, which, yes, our membership very soon will be transitioning over. I'll give the members the basic heads up about what's going to be happening there, how the link is going to be provided, and all the rest of it. It's been a huge process, and I think a lot of us collectively, and now we are talking about collective energy, to do with all the changes that we directly have been going through. I would say, and it's interesting because I'm even seeing it coming up in the collective. I'm seeing it in my second job that I'm doing with the attitudes of people, especially the first week back into work, so to speak, and really balancing two jobs. I've really been seeing it, and especially within people's attitudes. So, the words they're using, the description of how they're feeling, some of the challenges that they're coming up against. I'm seeing it in the collective. And, sometimes it's a great comfort to know that we aren't directly doing this very individually. We have our individual cycles really coming up. And I'm trying to see, okay, so we've got to put that way. That's what the new network's going to be. Sage Inner Circle Network, which is going to be the new membership. So that will be launched very soon. First, it is coming to those who have already subscribed as a member on YouTube. So you still have to the end of February if you want to get first dibs into the new membership that's being launched. Otherwise, there will be 3 rollouts, all the information. You can go to the website, my website. The information for the website is directly below, and there is a landing page. It gives you all the information on how to get on the waiting list and how to get in first, second, third. So into the energy, and then we will go into the super chats and talk about some of the things also that could be coming up for changes here at Yildiz Readings 5D. And I'll chime in with you guys as well to see how you guys are faring through these transits. Now, we are moving into a full moon. We also did just have, most recently, yesterday, as fact. For those of you the other side of the world, it's more than likely happening on the 11th. We are having the nodes shift into a different area. We'll still have an eclipse from the previous cycle happening soon. But nevertheless, we are in that new nodal axis. So your lives will be taking on a new signature. Something that we are going to be doing here is really itemizing some of the content so that we can actually, at a larger level, provide you with some context, both astrologically, still covering the twin flame path, trying to integrate myself as I'm going through these transitions, especially with my zodiac sign. It's already kind of part of the signature that was directly coming up for a transition and change because I was in the previous nodal cycle. And really moving forward. So what you're going to find is if you were kind of in this stalemate back September, October, you more than likely had some revelations and some changes that you directly were personally feeling. We also had Mars retrograde, which is still currently retrograde. However, it has moved signs again, and it's now in the house of Cancer. It's going direct next month. But during this full moon that's coming, we also will have the nodes that have shifted. We're also going to have Mars sitting in Cancer. And Mars actually doesn't like being in the house of Cancer. And I should know because I have Cancer placements and I don't like it either. But I can find some sense of amusement at the personal level, at the spiritual kind of level of self-mastery and, moving through those flows. Mercury also really wasn't doing us a favor when it was sitting in the house of Sagittarius. It was just way too extra. So you'd be forgiven if you felt pulled in various directions. We had a lot of solar flares coming in. So, it's quite natural when we have Mars retrograde to feel tired. Whenever I see it, it's one of those dreaded transits for me personally, because I'm a little bit ADHD and I like to get things done. And I don't like to admit that I'm a human and I will get tired. So it's about teaching us about our limits within our energy, especially with the South Node in Virgo, caring for our health and wellness, and looking at different ways we can do things I would say in a more spiritual sense. So we can be trying to find those things that are really tapping us into spirituality, tapping us into something that gives us some, zest for life, something that is feeling more peace and Neptunian in nature. Neptune also is going to be making an aspect to these nights. And we also have Saturn in the house of Pisces also. So we've got 3 areas that are very much highlighted in this. And I have touched base on this quite a bit. Yeah, I've got my cuppa. So if you haven't got a cuppa, get a cuppa. So I have touched base on this. And we did have, I do believe, around 17, 18, we had Chiron in Pisces. I did not like it. It's when I was suffering a lot of ascension symptoms through my awakening. For those of you that don't know, landed on YouTube as a psychic medium. I am just recently having my 8-year anniversary on YouTube, which I just can't believe it. I've been here 8 years. I feel like a dinosaur. And we're going through huge changes, very Pluto in nature here at Yildiz Readings. So with the energy of where we're going, this is going to be an extremely fast year. You're going to get the body influences, but you're also going to get the personal as well as the collective. So it's going to tick all those boxes. And I think it's important to be aware of that. A lot of subjects to do with water and fire, because we have a lot of that there. A lot of subjects to do with AI, science, which you would have heard a lot of astrologers go into, but I will try to bring that content to you in various areas. Now, the membership is going to have those things involved as well as it does grow. I am going to be providing through that platform the education content, linking to spirituality, astrology, awakening, twin flame path, and anything you want to enhance, as well as workshops, webinars. It could be a guided meditation session. It might be balancing your chakras, group cohort sessions. So that's where the direction of the membership actually is going. So I'll check in with you guys. How are you directly being impacted by this Mars energy? Have you lost your cool? Are you feeling tired? A lot of us are still going to feel like it's 2024. I'm just going to be real with you, and I always knew that was going to be so. We kind of look at Mars as the new March as the new astrological kind of cycle. However, because we did have retrogrades, we're gearing up for directs. We're still in that Mars retrograde. It's like some of those new chapters that you're wanting to come in. You could be coming up against some obstacles at the moment, and you could be feeling fatigued and frustrated, like you just want to pull the pin. I would say try and flow with it. See what universe is trying to teach you about your self-mastery, about where your passions are. Trying to be realistic as well as very open-minded. And, this is one thing I'm attempting to go into 2025, 2026, 2027 with, because it is that kind of nodal cycle, is that I am aware of the astrology, and therefore I have to say to myself, I need to be open-minded that something might not be quite as it is. And that's the Neptunian area. So could we be deceived at times? Yes, we could be. So it's important to have an open-minded perspective as we are moving through the transit. The energy of the North Node in Pisces is because it does have that Neptunian value to it. So, pre-warned, forearmed. Be open-minded. I feel quite grouchy today for no apparent reason. Look, usually, again, the shadow sign for you, Lois, because you're a Capricorn, is Cancer. And so it's more than likely, being that it's full moon, it's going to bring up old patterns. It could be, and again, moon is mother, moon is your body, it's your emotional field. It can be to do with your Venus, your body. A, you could be run down. B, it could be that you are feeling, distorted to do with love, or some old spiritual things are coming up. But a full moon means a new chapter. So it's something that we're coming to terms with, something that we're wrapping up, something that we're ushering back in. So I directly do see that this in the long run is going to be positive. And so wherever the universe is taking you at the moment, try and trust that process, that it's trying to show you something. It's trying to take you to this new chapter. Emotions can be heightened. Let's not fool ourselves. Mars is there. But your energy source, if your body's needing rest, rest. Eat the yellow food groups. Eat the red food groups. If you're agitated and aggressive and angry, I would try and slow down on those things. Again, this is not medical advice. These are the chakra systems and how, it's important to start learning to listen to your body. So, what is your body craving right now? I'm going through being Mars in the first house, technically, because I've got Libra and Cancer there. As well as Ascendant and Aquarius, I'm looking at what changes I can make to diet, nutrition, body, getting the balance there in life from a 3D point of view. That hopefully will bring those things back into equilibrium, but just being really reasonable with myself that what I can do on one day might not be what I can do the next day. And I think it's important to understand that. High Sway. So, just knowing your limits. I'm trying to keep away from sugar at the moment. And, I watched a beautiful documentary, which I think has signs and synchronicities come to us in a myriad of ways. That's definitely how my guides work with me. So some interesting topics and movies, which I did share with the members. It was anything to do with awareness that we all have difficult paths in some shape or form. Empathy and love for other people. Trusting your spiritual path. Looking after your body and soul, that they all are as important as the 3D. So trying to get those into balance. And, your personal power is going through an evolution at the moment. So, divine feminines, for instance, we could actually see, especially linking to the inauguration, we could see some riots. We might see some protests. We could see other things where we're looking at homelessness. To do with the fires that were happening. And again, Mars in Cancer, home. How is it directly impacting children and families and, displacement? I think one positive thing could be that mid-year we do have Jupiter moving into Cancer, which can increase the building of homes. But definitely we are going to see a lot of ingenuity. We could see some big changes around that and how, governments, homes, and again, groups with Pluto and Aquarius can come together to actually support each other. Greek yogurt. Yes, I've been eating yogurt and a lot more greens. I'm trying to get over 20 vegetables in my life a week more, as per the documentary. Ginger, I'm definitely craving a lot of ginger at the moment with the ascension process. It's like, or just sparkling water. What else have I been having? Chamomile tea, dandelion tea, just really trying to clear it, being, especially my North Node, it's in a Mars area. It's in a Plutonian area. And I have Mars placements as well, where that's directly impacting me. I'm just trying to listen to my body and give it what it needs. You would have probably found that in the first, I would say over the last week, the previous week and the week before, if you were very tired and fatigued, we had a lot of solar flares coming in. I wouldn't say as bad as 2017. I think it was late 18. I do recall one time it spiked above 100. And that literally wiped me out. We could be adjusting to it, but again, we could see, those things coming up. Now, separately, because I have not launched the new videos as yet due to all the retrogrades, I was like, it's not going to go according to plan. You're going to have to go with the flow till Mars goes direct. We've got Uranus going direct as well. So a lot of the content that will be coming has not been launched yet. It will be moon energy updates by zodiac sign, lives. It could be webinars. It could be transit guides. And then starting to gradually build out the content around spirituality, twin flame path, astrology, so that it becomes a spiritual hub that you directly can get your resources from. So it is going to take a bit, but don't think that because you're not seeing it yet, nothing's happening. It is actually happening. I'm working in the background getting things ready so that that launch can actually come through as smooth as humanly possible and being realistic with time. Okay, anything anyone wants to ask me before we get into the super chats and everyone falls asleep, depending on where you are in the world? So yeah, very, very interesting. Look, you can be very sentimental at the moment. There could be a lot of dramas with your families, try and hold your cool. I directly said to Google Glimmer, it was like, look, I'm not so much worried about me being self-aware. Like, I'm not perfect, but I'm more worried about external, which is people. Because you may know why things are happening, especially if you do follow astrology and you're spiritual in nature or have an awareness, self-awareness. But other people may not. And does it mean that they're intentionally being an ass to you? Probably not. Okay, probably not. So, trying to duck for cover while they're in this simulation could be a little bit tedious. So, how's the tedious energy been? Have your families been good? How have your personal emotions been? Things to do with mother, things to do with your kids. Things to do with family. It could be a physical environment. Do I feel safe? Do I feel comfortable? What's going to happen with the economy? And renovating. Look, if you are spring cleaning, I was saying to the members, technically for Libra, I know where my Cancer placement is, and I've always joked about the fact that I'm a bit OCD when it comes to cleaning. I wouldn't say obsessive. I've seen obsessive. But knowing that you spiritually flow better when your house is in order. So it can be all of a sudden you're not resonating with certain things. It could be that you're looking at something and going, gee, good grief, I haven't really had time to repair that. I think I really need to get on it. So a lot of you could be fixing old situations or dealing with old circumstances because Mars is retrograde, then getting onto the new things that you actually wanted to do. For a whole year, I've wanted to get onto my garden boxes, and now we're in, you can't use tools at the moment in Australia because of the heat, so you've got to wait till a certain date, and then you can use power tools. So some of the things for building this, I simply cannot do until we get to March, which I think is quite ironic with how the transits are going. Okay, so we have Antonella. The other thing is you can be reassessing your passions relating to Cancer and Leo areas of your life. Your home. And again, it's going to depend on where it falls in your chart. So you can go to Astro Seekers 1. I have started sharing another site because I have found lately sometimes you can't drop down the house system to show where things are positioned for people that are kind of more new to astrology. So I will start sharing another link. I think it's Astrology chart. I can't remember now. I'll have to find it. But if you look at where you have it, it's actually going to give you a PDF. So we have Antonella. Okay, let's take a look at what's coming up for you. Okay, there could be something to do with love and connections and romance. And look, I'd say be very careful. The first energy I got was a little bit vengeful. You could have some Mars or Scorpionic energies in your chart somewhere. There could be an anger relating to a circumstance that's happened, of betrayals. And you can feel that you're looking at these things at the moment and going like, what? There's a particular card that kind of is coming to mind. What is it? Giggle, do you know the one I'm talking about? It's almost like not taking karma into your own hands, just letting karma to take its own course. Like not being the judge of that, stepping back, because what you don't want to do is bring in some icky karma into life. Just let Mother Nature take its course. That's what I'm hearing. Okay? Yeah, it's like things come together naturally. You don't need to force its hand. What is meant to be is meant to be. You may need to wait till Mars is direct. I'm also noticing the moon in the past position here. There may be some things surrounding your home, your physical environment. This directly also could be your inner emotions and really old things from the past coming up out of nowhere. And you could be like, why am I thinking about this? Where has this emotion come from? And feeling very disconnected, like people don't understand what you're going through at this point in time and feeling quite isolated. Sometimes universe, it can feel almost like universe is putting us in the naughty corner and we're going through assimilation, but that's usually because they believe spiritually that you're ready to address this. And so we can't project, or we can't have somebody to really project back at us so that we're not going into our sort of spiritual body. We're really sitting in it, and sometimes it can feel like we're sitting in gunk. Is that we're getting the PDF of what it's showing us. We're actually getting the feeling of what it is so we can process it. You may be saying to yourself, you've got the Queen of Cups here. The first thing I'm getting is protect your psychic gifts. Now, there is a time and a place to utilize them, and this is going to be extremely important for a lot of people. So this message could directly be for all of you as well. Depending on where you are in your awakening, in your spiritual development, and this is personal advice from personal experience through me developing my psychic gifts over the years, Pisces can open your crown chakra. Now, there's two sides to every coin. Depending on where your body is and how you are operating inside this matrix. If you are down in the dumps, dark, and feeling really out of it, it is not the best time to use your psychic gifts, because what happens is you've actually opened your crown chakra and your aura is down. So it's like you're going out to space, you've got no force field on, and you directly can get some darker energies coming in. So where you want to be when you're tapping into that is where your aura is kind of very strong. It's where you're feeling very footed, very grounded, and very like you're driving a car and you need to be self-aware. So if you're in that state, yes, tap into that. If you're not, it's about tuning out completely and coming back to this one moment and caring for yourself, because there's light and dark with this. Use it when you are in a better frame of mind. If you're in a pixelated frame of mind, which is feeling disempowered, feeling negative, or where there's ick, tune out for a couple of days, have a shower, use a smudge stick, close off the crown chakra, and just be. I would say between the moon as well. The moon in Cancer, Mars is there. Don't go into analysis paralysis. Give your mind a break. Do some things that are zen, because I feel you've got to be careful about what you bring in, because there can be cause and effect, and it could become more conflicting than necessary. You want to be careful what you do, and I feel you're going to have a better context of how to deal with some of these very, I can't say tedious. I wouldn't say tedious. It's almost like a tactical approach is necessary, but this may not be the time. You may need to pause on it. Yeah, you may need to pause on it, because it could actually, instead of it getting better, whatever this circumstance is or how you're going to address it, you may feel it's going to have, some sort of outcome, but it's kind of been shown to me psychically that it could make something worse. So step back for a bit, really sit in it, meditate upon what you feel is right, and trust the process. It's about doing less, not more. Sometimes, and it's counterproductive, because psychologically we've been very trained, if we're good we get an ice cream, and then when we don't get that praise or reaffirmation that, hey, what you've done is great, and that could be like positive affirmations coming from maybe some friends, colleagues, love interests, then we say, well, why am I being good for? It's because it's who you are, you're choosing to do right. It doesn't mean to say all the bad guys on the planet win. No, it's actually saying we're doing it, but it doesn't mean we get instant gratification. There is and I do think this is really surrounding a lot of karma. So you could be feeling, why is it everyone else is getting off scot-free and I'm really not? And it's not that they do. It's that there is timing for every spiritual lesson, and they're saying just slow down a bit, because Rejection is universe's protection. Do things in moderation and actually step back and look at this painting, because things are in their correct order, but the way you're actually going to tackle the circumstance, if you could just pause a little bit, you're actually going to have a better outcome than just reacting to it. Okay, who do we have next? And tell me how it lands. Tell me what's been going on and why that is so key to you at this point in time. But yeah, you know, it's really come to my attention that I am wanting to get a lot of psychic development tools up for this year. So that may be one of the amounts of content that I do put up, is how to position your room, how to create a crystal grid, what you can actually do to balance the energy, when to do it. I mean, this would ultimately be a perfect time to really get in and clear your home. Get rid of anything that really isn't feeling it's resonating with you. We're having the moon tomorrow, okay? So give it 3 days. What I mean is give it 3 days to really percolate in that brew, to kind of make some context and just be gentle and patient and try to not bite people's heads off. But this is a beautiful new chapter for us. We are going in a different direction. We are having different things happening. Any messages about what is coming up with the energy of our connection? And for a lot of you, I do feel, especially inside a spiritual path, I'm actually seeing a link to March, okay? That doesn't mean to say that, how do I explain it? There is a shift happening now, but definitely, especially for masculines, they're directly linked to the house of Mars. It's in its retrograde at the moment. So, you know, how are you handling your Mars energy? I mean, I'm not liking the Mars energy. I've got Scorpio on my chart, you know? It's pissing me off. I'm like, let's just breaststroke. We're getting there. You know, there's a lot of swear words that come to mind, but headaches, geez, man. Those tension headaches. A lot of base chakra as well. Ooh. Your cycles could be heavier with Mars retrograde. Let's see what's coming up, Marie. I'm hearing Marco Polo. It's like, okay, now have you guys been in communication? Because it feels almost like there's some silence for some reason. It's like gone into silence. Or this could also be from an intuitive level that you feel you can't tune in at the moment. It's like radio waves dead. First message I get, radio waves dead. I'm seeing, okay. Now, this could be a few things. We have a card that is linked to jealousy and the crowning energy. Now, I'm not necessarily feeling you're feeling jealous. I'm not feeling that at all. I feel this is more a context of you wondering what is up, and, you know, if there is a surrounding energy, like an evil eye or something to that degree, that directly is blocking this situation moving forward. There's a song that's been coming up, and it's a country and western song, and I feel it links to you. I'm going to try and find it. Make sure I put the volume down. I don't want to get demonetized. Not that we're totally rich. Okay. Did your boots? It's a country and western song. Did your truck broke down? Dasha Austin. Okay. I'll try and find it and I'll share it. I've got that many bloody windows open. Close that. There it is. It's where it's which does really link. It's almost like, okay, you know, this is really interesting. Like, where's this person gone in my eye? They were there and now they're not. And this is the link. So if it doesn't work, I'll share it with you after. But it's Dasha Austin. And it's a country and western song, obviously about a couple that were together, and then suddenly something's gone MIA and this person has disappeared, and she's wondering, did your ex call? Did your truck break down? Like, what's your excuse? What's your alibi? Now, something at some point was moving, okay? You're like, and I don't know what this is. This could be something that you're thinking back to when you guys were in communication. Things were moving. There was something at a point when it was moving. And you're kind of at a stalemate going, what's changed since then? Because we have the Seven of Wands, but it's in the past position, okay? You could also be less reluctant, less inclined to make hasty decisions at the moment. Another downturn and problem with the North Node in Pisces is even though it's not Virgo, it can link to the 12th house. So it's still going to create the same kind of frequency. You may feel you need to do something. The connection as per se, I feel a heartbeat. I do sense a heartbeat here. You're like, am I doing this alone? That you feel something at a 3D level is blocking you. Because universe is actually chiming in and saying, there's something that you could do differently. Is there a binding situation at the moment that's holding you down? It feels contractual. It feels binding. It could be some drama from the past that's cropping up. But there is some binding here. Now, I do see the Two of Cups here. Am I feeling it as this person? Yes, I do feel it's this person. But again, they're saying, make sure your ducks are in a row, because I do see a physical change happening with this person. But they're also saying, they're wondering whether you're getting ready to go down a different path. Any comment? So I would say something has halted them. There has been a pause. I do think movement's going to come back up, but again, probably linking to the reference point that I mentioned before. March is a movement point. What zodiac sign are they? Because there's loyalty here, but I also feel another area that's really, it's almost binding you. It can feel like a karmic tie of some description. They're saying, try and address that at the moment. Hi, Shasta, how are you? No, you can throw it in, Dale. Leo. Yeah, Leos are going through it at the moment. Pluto is the shadow sign as well. So I do see some changes. I definitely do see some changes. Mars in a feminine's chart is something we need to address. And yes, it can be something that directly we are attracted to, but it's something in a sense of our own personal power we need to address. But for them, you do have the reunion card. But again, I am feeling another energy around you at the moment. So what it's showing me at the moment where it stands is there is an element of frustration on your end. You do miss this person. You are wondering if they're committed. At times they feel you may have moved forward, but something's halted them at the moment and held them up. In the meantime, you spiritually might be feeling, well, what do I do if somebody else comes along? But they're definitely referencing a karmic tie here for you that may need addressing, and it could be a very firm, healthy boundary and directly following it through. It's something that's an irritation. I don't know who or what this situation is, but they're very firmly honing in on it, and they're saying, address this. Okay, so any advice that you can give them to get the ball moving with this? Is there anything that you need to do? You know, 9 times out of 10 in a spiritual path, how do I explain it? Inside your twin flame path, generally speaking, we may be feeling once that person turns up, everything's going to be okay. Meanwhile, if we really stopped and looked inside our life, there was something that was unfinished that we hadn't addressed. Do you know what I mean? So there could be something that is really needing to have you be liberated from a circumstance. And that's where the stagnancy can come. And look, like I said, a lot of us are stagnant at the moment. We're not having the movement we desire just yet. We're going to have to be patient till Mars moves direct. We're then going to be having Venus retrograde and Mercury retrograde, and a lot of people of the past are coming back. This, at the moment, in a transit sense, is not the best time to involve yourself with a brand new individual. Is it the best time to get married? Not during a Mars retrograde. It doesn't bode so well. Is it good to deal with people of the past? 100%. 100%. So looking at that, having an opportunity now, you know, because we had the nodal shift, any area of Libra we had, it was put on the back burner. It's gone through a complete evolution now, and it's coming up for a rebirth and a new chapter. So those areas of life are going through shifts. So it is collective energy, as well as perfectly understandable that this individual is actually having some blockages moving forward. I do feel they have feelings for you. I do feel there could be some information maybe coming through in their tribe and family towards you. It's like gossip through the grapevine. There's going to be something that is actually shown or given to you, or some information or resource, but they are showing that there is a movement forward. Okay, but you do have a reunion here. Now, a reunion could be a bumping into the person. Again, I'm feeling it's more in the context of, okay, where are we going from here? What are we doing? It's going to give you some context of what the next chapter is going to be for your path moving forward. Let's add you, Shasta. Shazza! We get a lovely lady at work, and she has your name. So it's like, you know, since I got your name wrong so many moons ago, and Giggle kindly corrected me, now you have a double ganger. Do you feel special? I mean, there's nobody like you. Let's just be perfectly real. Tracy, how you doing, doll? Updated. Back to the comments. You are most welcome. So, do we have Tracy in the house? Let's see what's coming through. Gee, the temperature has been really strange lately. If Dawn is in the house, a very big warm hello. I have been. Anyone saying Dawn? I've PM'd her on. I've done the stalker. I've done the Skype. I've done the Messenger. I've done the Facebook. And, of course, the members. We try to care for our members and go, hey, chime in. How are you going? Are you taking care of yourself? Are you looking after yourself? Has Giggle gone to sleep yet? Doing okay. I don't know. Mars must be kicking your butt at the moment. You must be like, Mars, will you just like, Mars likes to move forward. And you're like, retrograde? Aries don't do let's go backwards. We go forwards, you know. It must be in those area zones. You're awake still. I had the best salad yesterday. Oh, it's divine. Who would have thought a salad could be so good? Marinated olives, eggplant, artichoke heart, sun-dried tomatoes, and I put it on a bed of lettuce. And I made a dressing with hummus. It's great. It's the bomb. Lush. And I was looking at that plate going, I ain't going to get through that. And it's like, come on, let's be honest. Any greens do shrink, like lettuce. You know, they kind of shrink. Didn't even add salt. Nope. Didn't need it. Mind you, let's be real. Olives are kind of in brine, so we weren't needing that anyway. Okay, what do we have for you? Okay. You have a gentleman here. This person's really kind. Really kind. You don't know how you feel about that. Like, it's nice. You know, it's nice. Is nice a good word? Caring, understanding. Is this something you manifested into your life? Because you have the King of Coins. I'm getting this as a person. You know, I can directly relate. Where do you have Scorpio in your chart? I'll bloody laugh if you say Venus. I'll be like, well, that explains it. You know, what do you have in your Venus house? Where's Scorpio? That's the point. Because the way it's coming through, it kind of matches that Scorpionic energy. It's like, you're too easy. You're too simple. You're too straightforward. Or it could be like, you know, do you know where you have it? You're like, something doesn't smell right. There's nothing wrong with this person. This is who the person is. But you're like, you know, I recall having a revelation that, especially when I did my chart, and I have Scorpionic and Mars placements, right? And the thing is, with your Venus house, it's going to tell you your personality trait, and it's going to show you how you directly, deal with the relationship sector. And for me, you know, Scorpio placements, we want to, if it's too simple and it's too basic and it's too dishwashy, we can attract ourselves to very karmic relationships or the fix-it relationships. If it's very simple, and look, just even from a very basic layman term, you could be thinking to yourself, this is the most rational thing on paper and what I should desire in my life, because it's simple, it's predictable, the person's reliable, but you are like, I'm not feeling the vibe. And you know, sometimes spiritually we do wonder, can we have the absolute chemistry with a person that actually just has their shit together? Because we want that book, that novel, that, and I wouldn't say the fairy tale, because 9 times out of 10, you know, a lot of connections these days are by far but a fairy tale. On the other side of moving through adversity, they can look like that, because you're like, heck, I made it. You know, I actually, you know, I did my time and I got through. So for you, you know, you're really in this conundrum at the moment. You're pausing. You're like, is it that? Is there an age difference? Because we have the Page of Coins here. You know, you want to feel that zest of life inside your heart. You want to feel the innocence. You want to go into things naively. But you could also still feel a bit guarded, and it's perfectly normal to have that. So if you are going into it feeling a little bit guarded and going slow and you're a bit good to be true, there are some changes. But again, you know, I do see you going through a process. I do see that this is serving a purpose, okay? It's not going to be for nothing. It is here in your life for a reason. And it's helping you realize that you can change and you can be different and you can attract into your life something that is good and healthy for you, so that where it does come to your twin, you are going to relate to it differently. Nice, sweetheart. You can add it. We were just asking about you, but as of now, it is closed. So after dawn, otherwise we'll be here till midnight. I've got so many. So yeah, do you get what I'm saying, Tracy? So look, you're like, should I have stayed single? Should I have just, you know, and it's like, I don't know whether you would tag single or couple, but this could be something that you're looking at. Like, it has a good feeling, but you're like, is TF going to turn up? And, you know, oh, you've been sick. Get well, sweetie. You know, it's like, oh, heck, you know, are we going to have some changes happening all of a sudden? You know, I get really entangled in this. I would say just take every day as it comes. Stop being so hard on yourself. Like, oh my gosh, because it's almost like you're taking accountability for you and another person, and it's all you can do is take accountability for you. And you can say, okay, I'm going to be really kind to myself. This is what I have in front of me. The other individual is MIA. Until they work out what they need to do, I'm going to live presently and be very forgiving of myself of living presently inside of my life. I'm not going to carry it like it's the Ten of Swords. No. I'm going to actually, get to a point where I'm going to make peace with things and be present. You're like, what if I make up with this person? I'll have to leave this person. You're going to navigate this. You could be getting up in your head too much. If you feel automatically off the bat this isn't fitting, just pull the pin. If you're like it doesn't fit, then that is about you. It's not about the person. It's not about twin. It's about what does Tracy want? What does Tracy feel? Does this feel natural? Do you feel ready? Keep proceeding forward. You don't. There's no apology for changing your mind. Does that make sense? There's no apology if you change your mind. Mars retrograde can change our passions. It's like, do I want this? Do I not? You could have a revelation that all of a sudden you've been everything for everyone else, but nothing for your fucking self. Okay? Mars can make us angry. So, you moving forward, especially from the Cancer axis in the chart, it's about home and family. It's like, look, you can feel like a rat in a cage. It's just like you want to be free. And that's kind of what I'm getting here. It's like, do I need to be in a relationship? Do I want to be free? Have I been waiting all this time? It's so weird. You always get the polar opposite of what you want, but it gets you into complete alignment. I had this revelation years ago, and it's like, I've either been a daughter, a mother, a partner, a friend, but I'd never just been me. And it was like, what if I was everything that counterpart was that at once upon a time I shaded? And I was just like fancy free, decided to do what I wanted to do when I wanted to do, decided if I changed my mind, I changed my mind. And that was all divine and cool. And I had said to myself, okay, well, maybe I don't want a relationship. And no joke, no word of a lie. As soon as I was like, I'm just going to do me. Suddenly all these people came out of the woodworks, and I was like, what the hell is going on? It's like going through Macca's and they say, do you want fries with that? And you're like, no, but do you want fries with that? No, but what you ask for, when we come full circle and we're fully integrated, it's like it comes attracted to us because we're not chasing it. That's why it's like, yeah, well, that yuck back there I'm not attracted to anymore. So what happens? It comes to you in a test. It comes to you in offerings, and you're like, but I thought really I didn't really want anything. And that's why you're given it on a golden platter, is because we're not that desperately seeking Susan, So I'm getting you just going through a massive change, and just be really gentle with yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself about these judgments. Like, I have to be perfect. I have to tell somebody my whole life story. We have our personal internal things, right? Mercury in Sagittarius was getting up in our heads. A lot of us maybe wanted to tap out and just have a bloody holiday, even though we might have had a holiday. Just, go and play. Go and do something spontaneous. Throw caution to the wind. Spend all the bank account. It's going to calm down, but it's going to, all of a sudden, it could be you're feeling more realistic. It's like, I've got to be more grounded. Just decide who you are in every day. It's not, if you were to write a book about your life, they would be different books because you've had different chapters, and every chapter doesn't even match your life. Does that make sense? So don't expect every day and every moment to match. It's okay to change your mind. That's what they're really wanting to hone into you. Today, if it's feeling off, accept that and honor that inside yourself. Tomorrow, if it feels in alignment, move into it gradually. But just go slow, because what I am seeing is you intuitively know something's changing and what is right for you, and you're going to start moving towards it. Okay? And I psychically knew my daughter was going to call today, and I'm like, no, not playing. Not playing. Is it always a compliment when we get Charles? It probably is. It's back in the heyday, right? Anyway, okay, so we have next. Who do we have next? Cosmic Journey. Yeah, my head. Oh God, I've had some tension headaches. Now that it's gone, and it was linking to my Neptune, so even emotional eating. I was like, girl, get away from the food. You don't need. And I was laughing and looking at Twin and going, I need a pacifier. I need a dummy. I don't even mold's one of those things nobody should be in from a health perspective. Yeah, that's a no-go. That's like, get on that. Like I said, lots of repairs, lots of displacements with homes and moving around. A lot of us will be moving home at the moment as well. Buying homes, looking at selling homes. I wasn't surprised about the insurance energy because the South Node went to Virgo, and that can be insurance companies. I wouldn't be surprised if something comes out of that. Yeah, like a case of some description. Okay, Cosmic Journey, what we got? Let's take a look. Do I need to add you, Dawn, to the banner? Do you want me to add you? And then I'll put it there. Okay. And I might even add that it is closed now. Cancel, create, super chat closed. Can I do two at once? We see. No. I'll put it here. Super chat closed now. Back at it. There you go. Super chat closed now. Hi, love. How are you doing? How are you been? So, those of you that have been following me for ages, don't forget to go to the website and actually read the update to do with the new membership, how to get it, what's going to be given, what it all is, where it's going to be. It's one page. It's okay. I'm not giving you my life story on it. It's cutting to the chase. One step at a time. How you handling the nodal shift? It occurred on the 11th. We were already feeling it, honestly. We had the eclipse last year, and the closer to it, we've also had some experience in this area because Saturn and Neptune's been there. And, Saturn's been trying to tell us, what are the restrictions of maybe having our dreams? What are the structures we would need to put in place? Very Venusian in energy. Cosmic Journey. Let's see what's happening in your life. Cosmic Journey, you and Angela have a lot in common, actually, with these transits. Love getting my ass kicked. Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. I've had a bit of the Virgo OCD coming out with my health and with my cleaning. Okay, girl, you're stressed. Okay, first card. And it's saying you're normal. Okay, it's normal. It's natural. Things are coming up for you. So, Cosmic Journey, if things are coming up, go easy on yourself over the next few days. I do believe we do have a moon in Pisces prior to the eclipse, which is going to be interesting. I've looked at it and gone, that's interesting. So, yes, old things from the past cropping up. Try to not go down the rabbit hole's positive for a point. Because if we are, I always say, when we're regressing, it can come in retrogrades. It can also be in nodal reversals, nodal returns, the transits going through your sign in a particular area. For you, when it is coming up, it is positive because we are learning something. We're having a revelation about who we were previously and something we didn't see before. So I call it sort of like treasure hunting. We're treasure hunting, which generally treasure hunting is more enjoyable than shadow work, but you're retrieving something back, and there is something coming up about the past. You know, this transition for you over the next 18 months is going to show you who you are, what you want, who other people were, what your part was, what their part was. And it's going to sum so many things up in your life, and it's going to evolve your life something chronic. You may feel as though you have made some decisions that are, I don't know why you're feeling something's bad. You're like, have I got into something that maybe I shouldn't have got into? We have the, trying to center and control your heart, you cannot do. It isn't a notion of fake it till you make it in this instance, because an emotion is a physical emotion. We can retrain, we can re-understand and comprehend and experience, but you can't micromanage the heart. The heart wants what the heart wants. The heart feels what it wants to feel. And they're saying trying to center it could be a little bit difficult at the moment because of the axis of where the transits are for you. So you're going to have ebbs and flows about this. And, trying to control it could be difficult. You also could be having empathy for previous cycles and understanding, but you're also looking at life going, no, darn on it, I actually want some physical movement. I feel you're going to be a bit more assertive than what you were over maybe the last 10 years. It just feels naturally it's coming about in a very bold, Mars-like assertive energy. You want more. You want more information. Something has got you to a space where you're very unsure about what's being sold to you, what's being shown to you. And you don't want to base something on a falsehood. So I just get this storyline that you're wanting to dig a bit deeper. You're like, no, I need some more information here. Could something have chased you off, made you cross? It could have. But I feel this very insistent vibration. It's like, no, I need some more information, thank you. So I feel you're really chipping away, and where maybe you would have shied away, thought about it, mulled over it for a few days, now you're going to be a bit more insistent that you want to get to the root cause of this. You're like, what did you mean by that? What did you say when you said X, Y, and Z? Something's triggered this, but of course, you have changed. So you're more ready to address the elephant in the room head on. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, the Pisces energy, the faith. It's like universe giving you a lifeboat, and you going, no, I'm trusting that guy is going to come and get me, but they sent you a lifeboat. You're doing both. You're using your spirituality, but you're also using your intuition and your logic and your 3D body. You're like, I've got it. That some things I need to physically do, some things I need to physically address. This is interesting. Man, you are in two minds at the moment. Now, could this be to do with your work or love? It could be either. It could be both. Although you do want to occupy yourself, have movement, take the bull by the horns, there could be some second guessing yourself going on. Again, I do see some things changing around your home. Gosh, you're multitasking at a high level. Don't get yourself too burnt out. Be careful there. You got to pace yourself. You're tired of living the way you do. You're like, I don't want to go into 2025 and be on the same way I did over the last few years. Although there are some new set of challenges as we do move forward, because we do have Pluto in Aquarius, which is a lot to do with AI, a lot to do with transitions happening in career sectors. I see you multitasking, but I see you doing various things, 2 to 3 things. This could be work-wise, it could be career-wise, it could be business-wise, but it feels like there's 3 particular areas and you're juggling. Again, I do get that there's something of a very determined nature that you're moving into, but at the same time, you're also going, whoa, have I really kind of mapped this out correctly? Is this really going to be able to be balanced? Am I going to have to let something go? Do I need to shift something about? There could be a thought also forward tense of a physical home being sold, relocating and moving. And I do get you kind of projecting into this, there's a major conversation that's going to eventuate with your Tia. You're like, oh, we need to talk about something. You're chipping away at it gradually. You're going to get to the root of it. But there's something that you're just not having a lot of faith in at the moment. It's not that you don't have empathy or understanding. You're still very much going your way. You're still in communication with this person, and I feel there is a renegotiation of the terms. It is making you a little bit anxious. You're trying to have faith. You're trying to detach, but there's something pulling you guys both back in again to have a real candid conversation. You are getting to the root of it. You're just not sure how close to it you are yet. Pardon me. See what happens when you talk too much? Who do we have next? We have research clue. Get well, research clue. I understand you're not feeling well. Hopefully you get well. I think I was actually saying to the members the other day, with the ascension process, yes, we can't outrule real things. Virgo is health, South Node. Pisces, crown chakra, colds, coughs, mosquito bites. We've seen that in the media. I was like, protect yourself against the mosquitoes. Especially with the humidity and the change in temperatures, I'm seeing a lot of insects. A lot of crickets, a lot of insects, a lot of spiders, big ones too. Changes in temperature. Wouldn't be surprised if we have more snake bites as well. Shark attacks, lots of those. Water, Pisces, fish. Okay, so research clue. You said anything that comes up for you. You're like, universe is taking me out. Universe has made me rest. Mate, your dream state. Pay attention to your dream state. They've got you shifting things about at the moment. You're like, wow, I was really motivated. I was getting things done. The universe is saying you had a direct plan. They're trying to pause you for that plan launch. So they're saying just take that respite at the moment. It's almost being forced upon you. You also could feel as though you've had to, because of some of your goals, make some sacrifices moving forward. You do wish in life that people maybe that had involved themselves with you had done the same. But it's always felt quite one-sided. That of it you are directly quite frustrated by. There is a lot of deep reflection of your connections, because it's connections, it's not just one, relating to the past. Door opening. Again, the portal time for you can also be linking to Mars retrograde through to, I would say, as we do have Venus retrograde on this occasion, it is a very personal Venus retrograde because it links to the first house collectively. So it's going to impact everyone collectively in a monetary sense and a value sense, and it's a re-identification. And I feel between now and mid-year, we're really re-identifying with who the new version of us is and what we're really feeling called to be, called to do. There's something breaking your heart at the moment relating to, I would say, how do I explain it? You want so much more than what you've been receiving. You don't want a fling. You want something more cemented, but you also, again, want the chemistry. This has been a bit of a conundrum coming up. You feel that because you are a strong person, you do tend to attract very strong individuals into your life that are very career driven. There is a situation surrounding this conflict. You're actually wondering what you're going to do with this moving forward. And again, it's almost like universe is taking you out to give you a break. They're helping you get grounded so you can see things from a realistic point of view. But again, this could be your kind of mindset really communicating to you, going, you need to be reasonable, you need to be realistic. All dreams come from one space, and it's generally not realism, right? It comes from a seed that is planted. So yes, I do think you're going to be able to have a clear head to feel into these things, to look at these things. But I think your heart has actually been speaking to you. So I think this is something you're totally spiritually agreeing with. Having these revelations is helping you have a better understanding of yourself. It's like, no, actually, this isn't a facade. I know what all this situation is about. I have been, really healing quite a bit. I would say you've actually gone through a great deal of healing. You probably don't feel you've come a long way, and that more than likely is because you are run down. But don't critique yourself in that format. Just rest. Because again, they are saying after you're better, you're kind of going to look at this and go, no, well, why did I say that I haven't come far? I actually have. I feel you're going to have quite a bold new beginning, but there's something major changing around your family and home. We've got the moon here, but I feel it's closer than you think. Why do I get somebody's coming to visit you? Something's calling you somewhere. This could be a new horizon, a new destination. I don't know why I get full card and tarot. It's like you're looking at your future and you're like, I know what I need to do. And it's something that you have been considering or thinking. The funny thing is, a lot of times when we have a break, if we've been doing something that hasn't felt in alignment, when you come back off a break, it makes you it makes you realize it more so. Okay, so maybe your time away over Christmas, giving you some clarity and perspective. Our body is quite run down. We're then looking in and reassessing, like a map, like a what would the word be? It's almost like a manifestation board. You're looking at your life and you're wondering, okay, what do I manifest into this new chapter at this point in time? And what am I going to take with me? What's really real? I see you not wanting to be your own worst enemy this year. I do see, I get this very, very strong feeling. You know who the Emperor is for you. You know who the Emperor is. You know what this is for you. I actually do feel, I'm going to pull the Mercury card. I don't know why Mercury card, but I'm telling you, you're going to get some communication. Stay open. Don't be surprised if some communication comes in later than you expected. But I'm getting this feeling that don't regret what you have done and what you sent out into the ethers, because something is coming back to you. It's going to make you happy. Heart chakra. We already talked about that. It's going to make you happy, but I get there's a bit of a delay. Don't lose your confidence on this. Let go. Be open. Be open to it. Be open. There's a delay, okay? We'll leave it at that. But your aura as well, you've got a lot that you're trying to think about, but your body's not letting you. Busy mind. Okay, who do we have next? We have, is it Leonix? It is Leonix. Oh, wrong way. I almost deleted the whole thing. Okay, what do we have for Leonix? Have us a bit of papa. Well, that sounds fun, Angela. Love getting on an ass-kicking builds character, 100%. You'd like to know about love life. Okay. Well, as we were talking in the members about the positions and the moon, the 6th house, if you do some research, also can link to past life karma and what we're born into this life with. Again, your own nodes in your chart and your own chart is going to be more accurate to the key, but with the axis of the 2 moons, there is a lot to do with, you know, patterns and structures and you fearing that and moving forward, everything's going to be the same. This 6th house isn't just health. It's routines. It's your own personal habits. It could be pets. It could be diet and nutrition and health and the things that you do in your day-to-day life. I don't know who's renovating, but somebody's using a hammer. Now, on the other axis, it could be struggles with family, home, and environments at a collective level. You're trying to look at how to navigate love at the moment. Apologies for the noise. Absolutely nothing I can do about it. Well, okay. Your 6th house will always be with you, but Pluto's not there. But during the moon, the 6th house will be the shadow sign of the moon. So when we have a moon travel over that zone, Venus travel over that zone, it's going to activate it. So I'm going to go and see what this is and see if I can just, I don't know, stop it. Back again. We have a neighbour who's just moved in. Well, they haven't just moved in. It's been about 6 months, but they're renovating. Intermission times. Your 6th house, it's more that during this time, at Mars being retrograde, you know, it's where you can be more aggressive. It's where you can be more aggro. It's where you can be, it's frustrating because you're like, oh my God, you know, it's almost like this negativity can come through because Jupiter is retrograde. So we're feeling it's like no light in your bright blue eyes. You're wanting to move forward. Yours is at the very beginning of the video. So in going back to you, Leonix, it's natural for you to be psychoanalyzing your connection, criticizing it maybe, looking at it, feeling frustrated, feeling sometimes depressed. It's like, why are things not where they need to be? Why am I not where it needs to be? The first thing can be is that we look at it and go, okay, I need to go easy on myself. It's like if I was to hit the gym right now, you're more than likely with Mars transits and a retrograde to have more sprains, cuts. I mean, from the Leo axis is my Saturn, so I have to be careful for my teeth and bones and my appearance. And my social responsibilities, because I've got a lot on my plate, and oh my God, I'd love to go play, but I really can't. And on the other side, when it moved back into a lot of review, and when it moved back into the Cancer, that's still linking to my rising. It's the first house. So it's like I literally was looking at appearance and diet and nutrition and, you know, the identity of the website, the identity of the membership, my personal identity, how I showed up versus who I was last year and who I want to be this year. And being retrograde, when you have your personal plans, you're revisiting passions, you're revisiting things, but you can be prone to accidents. So when we have no energy and you're looking at this thing that you want to achieve, because Jupiter's not there to blow the wind up your butt and get things done, and you're not feeling as, I can get this done, it's attainable, we're reflecting, but it's not there to punish you. It's only temporary. It's there to reassess and to not go into victim consciousness, rather, but to look at where you have your power and be realistic. It's like things are retrograde. We've just started the new year. It's the old saying goes, once things go direct, things are moving. So is there something that you can do to change this? They're saying do things in temperance, but have you been doing certain things too much in temperance and restricting it? So you've got to go in your heart to actually answer that. Are you being too tempered in the heart, too cautious? Because spiritually, the mind is living too much in the past, judging a circumstance in the here and now, and not really letting it move forward. That's only something you directly in a shadow sense can actually go through. So if you're wanting things to change, sometimes it can be the small things and being realistic about the transits. So like all at the moment, it's retrograde. So is this a good time to touch base? Could it be a text message? Could it be, really setting a new tone about how you want to move forward? Or this could be a lot to do with healing as well. Okay, now, are things going to move for you? Yes, it is saying that things are going to start moving quite quickly. Be it, things just in general are going to start moving very quickly. They're not going to stay the same. Be careful where and what you're casting out, because there is the Five of Coins here. There is the Five of Coins, which again, I would say could be something to do with the past, could be something to do with, okay, was I a bit overzealous there? Do I need to go back and maybe, have a conversation or communicate with these various areas? But it also could be where you feel left out in the cold. It's like, I feel quite down. I don't have as much as I actually thought I did. I've got dramas going on with my wellness, with my home. And so it's like you could feel less than satisfied, but there is assistance coming. But they're also saying shake the vibration off. Let down the swords, lay down the things that aren't resonating with you anymore and that aren't helping you take that transformation moving forward. They are saying that I would say make it through this moon phase. Again, moons can be heightened energy and it's a time to reflect, overreact. After the fact, give it about 3 days. Then I would say you're going to have some sense of relief, but also in knowing that you will have a feeling of being able to take things to go forward. You still are feeling it is for this person to contact. Yes and no. Okay, so if you are taking that, it's going to make you feel maybe that you have no control or power. You can make contact, okay, but you could be looking at it traditionally. If that's so, it's about getting the feminine and the masculine balanced in it, but you could be feeling as though it's their job to actually contact you, okay? I hope the internet's still going. It actually shows on screen it was like just 2 subscribers there then, two viewers. So I don't know what happened. Whether it be technology or what. Oh, okay, cool. Thanks, Google. Yeah, but you got to remember this person has actually reached out a few times. So if we're going into victim consciousness and saying, gee, nothing is changing, you only have 2 options. It's A, sitting there like an idle duck, or B, putting the olive leaf out. It's totally up to you what you do. But then, if they are to come in, how are you going to then react to it? Do you get what I'm saying? So the only way you are going to know if it's going to be different is by moving into it. Do you get what I'm saying? But if there is an avoidance and dictating, you're in over your energy to a degree from a spiritual point of view can be that the masculine frequency inside of you from that 6th house is overactive. And so it could be, okay, and it's not that we can't have a standard and a benchmark, but your soul is craving and entering into this connection. So you're going to have to take that leap of faith like the Fool card. Does that make sense? And to just let go of the reins and go with the flow and see how it changes. And just to let the kind of cards fall where they fall. Okay, I hope that helps. Lois, how you doing, Lois? How's your chicken? I love your chicken. Look, I love my dog. My daughter said to me the other day, why can't the dog come in the house? I went, no. No, she's a terrorist, okay? She's shocking. She's shocking. Pick up anything from Dan. Let's see. Yeah, this person wants to communicate with you. They're a sweetheart. Their energy is coming through a little bit like sitting behind you, like a comedian. Why are they referencing their height versus yours? Are they taller than you or shorter? They're referencing something to do with height. Oh, I do not blame it. Oh, could you imagine those worms? There's something like very cocky about the fact that, you know what's strange though, Lois? I actually think they've got shorter. It might have been because of back or because of, age. It just feels, and look, spiritually, it's like they're kind of making this comment about the height. And now they're kind of like, well, it's not like that anymore. Now, the context could be sometimes when we feel taller, we feel we're on top of things. We feel we're handling things. Other times it's sort of like, it's a physical thing. So, again, interpret the message as it falls. But they are making a comical reference to do with height. They're very intellectual. They do like writing. They have a very kind of magical mind. They're very into the intellect. They're weighing the pros and cons at the moment. I do see them a lot of times sitting in a study or a physical room or location, and I can see them wearing glasses, and I see them actually reading something, and it feels more it's nighttime. It could be that they do a lot of paperwork, or it could be to do with their job, but I get that they're up quite late, quite usually. They know all too well that you know them well. They also know that you are a very traditional person. You're very understanding. They feel as though many times we can actually wish we took a different path and took a different turn. I feel they're kind of coming to this space where it's more they're wanting to leave something for this human being over physically being there forever. And where they feel their story has been quite set in stone, it's quite strange. I actually do see them coming up against obstacles this year. And again, I don't know what zodiac sign they are. It could be linking to the astrology that's coming up. It could be something quite significant. But it feels all of a sudden something does shift. I feel it could be very close to the fact that the nodes have shifted, but it's kind of coming through in 3 cards here for me. A, with Mars and Cancer. B, with the 12th house there, the nodes of the moon. All these cards are talking about the very here and now, okay? So this nodal shift, the Mars, the Pluto and Aquarius, I get that it's where they're realizing, and it's almost like they've got to pay the ferryman, but there's got to be some shifts. Now, this is where, even though they may have to be cautious, this is where things for them are going to move incredibly radically. And I don't know why this is coming through, but it feels more very soon than, hey, Pluto's in Aquarius for 20 years. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's already had its first ingress back and forward last year. It feels more closer than we think. It's the needed changes. It's the changes. It's, it's the devil card, right? This could, it's facing things, but it's necessary changes, being cautious, overcoming any habits and patterns and temptation of, making an excuse to the next day. I don't know why I get this huge psyche shift with them where they just say to themselves one day, I'm a very traditional person, it's like missing a person, missing another side of themselves where they felt they needed to be. This could be a selling of a home. It could be a severing of a tie. They have a lot of questions, and I don't know whether this is something you've written to them or told them. It's like they really are directly wondering, like, where you are in your life, how you're doing. I do feel they have some information about you. It's like some context of some major things, maybe from a spiritual point of view, that have gone and happened in your life. And they're actually really, really wondering, like, hey, where are you at in life? What is going on? They feel that your life has changed so significantly, and they feel it's coming for them as well. But they're wanting to connect in. I think there's a possibility of communication. They're being very careful about when that timing is coming through and how they're going to actually do that. But also, I feel that guides have eliminated people they can use in a middleman situation to actually force them to kind of be the one to be that, if that makes sense. So where they might have sent a message to another person, it's like if those individuals have been removed, it's so that they now are the message. Okay? I hope that helps, Lois. And keep your stress levels down. Abdominal energy. Have you had abdominal situations going on? Could be a tummy ache. It might be like lower back. It feels abdominal though. Most welcome. Yeah, because it does feel very pinchy. Could even be sensitivity to foods. Not sure there. Yeah, because it's all of a sudden I got this pain. You might want to get some red crystals, like it could be to really anchor your energy in, and do some breathing exercises, and practice chanting that you're safe and that you're grounded and everything's in divine order, but you're having a restructuring around your physical life, and so you may feel off kilter initially, but yeah, it could be wearing something like organic in color, using citrine, but something also to recharge your confidence and courage. Yeah. If it's overactive, it could be addictive tendencies. If it's underactive, it could be lack of motivation. Fatigue, just want to sleep, not interested. So try and get the balance of that. Could be eating some orange and red food groups to kind of boost that frequency up. Even just using crystals. You could use some red crystals. Red gems. Just don't take them out in public. You don't want to piss people off. Red's like charge. Let's see what's coming through for you, Giggle. Are you ready to hit the hay yet? Happy with your version. So I'll have to discuss with the members how they're getting their link to access the new membership, whether it be through an email link or what. You're a dag. Okay, well, it's too late because you asked it after. You might think a lot of this person's statements. I just love your comedy. You're funny. You are so funny. Okay, now, the first card you have, which is like, obviously, because I coach you, because we communicate, I know the context, especially members. There is some shit going down with this person in their tribe and family. But it's funny, when I get the 10 of Cups, it's like, are they single? That's one land I get. Yes, it feels so. But you're sort of like, okay, your context of we're together versus what I'm seeing as we're together. You're like, that's probably why you're asking. Is this person, you can read the question on the screen. Okay, I don't want to get in trouble for making judgmental turns, even though I didn't make it, okay? This was a question Giggle Glimmer had for me. Yes, you're thinking that, and it's showing in the reading. It's like, is this person for real, for real? Like, are they seeing things freaking clearly? Like, what is, and look, we all do have different languages of love, right? And I don't think it's that this person's really saying, look, you and I both know that we have a connection, and we do have this with people. This is a reality. We have connections to people that it doesn't matter whether you are or aren't in a relationship, there is a connection there. They could be here, they could be transcended over, you have a spiritual connection with them, no questions asked. But we have this need and desire in life to have tags, because a tag means, I used to laugh when all my friends used to say, until it was on Facebook, it wasn't, it wasn't a relationship. Unless it was on Facebook, it wasn't real. So yes, we do in society. It's like getting engaged, getting married, you're just looking at relationships collectively and going, what the hell is going on? Dodge here. There's some strange behavioral energies. Yes, possibly it can be because of the transits and the 12th house, going on with people's belief systems, very changing times. I feel, and I don't know where this person has Cancer in their chart, but again, whenever I get the moon coming up in a tarot reading, especially relating to the transits, if my heart chakra is telling me it's very close, it's very close. There could be some significant changes. You also could be looking at other people around you that are younger, and I'm looking at the context of this. You're like, in the past, look, you've got, okay, is this person crazy? Are they seeing things right? Apparently we're in a relationship. And then you kind of like, well, you know, they're being more playful, they're being different, but they didn't look like they were being super serious about this connection. You, in a context in your life, are aware of their transits, but you know that the moon's coming up. It's talking about a place where your heart chakra is showing you some different perspectives, and it could be that there are people around you. And the reason I say that is we've got the page of coins here, which could be a physical individual, could be a female individual, but you're seeing how different people may be linking to the transits, may be linking to this individual star sign, are actually mirroring each other in a certain way. You're like, there's something up here. But you're seeing something happen right before your eyes. And you are concerned about people around you, but you're not wanting to get in the crossfire of things. You're just wanting to really focus on yourself. Yeah, a lot of people are getting quite pushy. You're like, look, you also don't want to push things. You're like, oh, you feel as though you need to see this person follow through. You're being open to it, but it's like they're being more adamant, okay? You still do feel they're hiding something. I'm going to be honest with you. But you're like, this also could be a shield of protection, reference point, i.e. But I feel it's more, you're looking at them and you're going, okay, you're being really genuine, but are you actually going to follow through? Is it all talk, no action? Let's see how this directly goes. There could be some major developments around their career. Honestly, a lot of this energy I feel is you. Like, I've heard a lot of this and I haven't seen a lot of this. Okay, clarify, please. Aside from all of that, I'm going to pull a card for January, February, March. To give you some context of what to expect. And again, energy is fluid, it can shift. You're like, has this person kicked somebody out? Have they dumped a connection? Have they moved out of circumstance? Again, I get that song coming back again. And I gave it to an individual at the beginning of the video. It was on my phone. It's the boot scooting video. Dasher, Austin. Like, did your truck break down? Did you get drunk? Like, what happened? Did you fall on your head? What happened? January. You're like, very mixed communication, but there's movement, okay? There is movement, there is communication. It's a bit delayed, but it's not stopping. February. Things can be on like Donkey Kong. I'm hearing get down on it. Okay, so things could be getting moving. Yeah, because it's the weekend. Yeah, but there you go. But I still think it's coming in, but a bit delayed. Okay, it's still Mercury. You're like, is it all this white noise? It's in reverse. I still feel there's going to be movement though. There's going to be very busy. Why is it gone so quiet? I get this surprise. Now, February, a lot of movement. You could be more heated. You could be a little bit more sensitive, but movement nevertheless. There could be a lot of chemistry between you. I'm not feeling a fight. I feel chemistry and movement. Movement, finally. Shit, movement. People around you, yes. They better look out. March. Okay, a lot of healing in the heart chakra, letting go of things that aren't relating to you. Clearing the heart chakra, but you have the heart chakra. March. March is a challenging time. It is in reverse, but it doesn't mean you're not going to get your heart's desires. It feels your heart's desires are slightly delayed. And I think this is a transition. It's not that there's no movement happening. It's different stages through the transition of moving forward. We're actually physically getting that momentum to get our heart's desires. But again, I do see there's going to be some possibilities of movement here. I don't get a bad feeling. I'll be honest with you. This person, once they've set their mind to something, they really achieve it. So if anything, will be more, are you ready for it? Are you ready for the surprise? But no, I don't have a doubt here. I do feel this person's quite addicted to you. I do feel this person has intents to really cement this connection, because they do directly know you're their person. Their issue is not you. Well, it is really, because they're very attracted to you. But they really do feel quite connected and safe and accepted within the connection with you. Okay. Who do we have next? We have Shazza. How you doing, doll? How's the world on your side of the fence? Happy New Year. When he does put his mind to something, yeah. Oh well, I'm telling you. Santa Claus is coming to town. That's all I'm hearing. Raining in Melbourne, it's nice. We are going to have, like Perth, Australia does have the Virgo Pisces axis. We are going to have a lot more rain. Like, I would say moving into this winter, a lot more. And then the eclipse season, I would say more the one that we would need to really look out for. I've got to look at it again. But for Australia, it would probably be September, October, where the transit is. Most welcome, giggle. But yeah, I will be doing transit updates anyway, nevertheless. Okay. You're challenging this person. I love how guides come in with their sense of humor. Look, I pulled the cards, right? And you have the Star card, and you've got the Lovers in reverse. Now, the first message I got was, if this person's in a relationship, how do I explain it? It's almost like, and then I heard this song, because the first thing I was thinking is, you're like, I'm getting my star. I am getting my star. I'm going to win this prize. I don't know how. It's like all of a sudden you could have a shift in perspective. And then I heard the song come in over this kind of vision that I was showing. And it was like, what's her name? I came in like a wrecking ball. And it was like, what the hell? I could totally see you doing that. You know, it's like, you're like, ha. Yeah, you came in like a wrecking ball. Something is changing these plans. They're also saying, Miley Cyrus, gotta love her, came in like a wrecking ball. It's like, very unannounced. I mean, there is nothing better than reinventing yourself, disappearing off the planet and coming back and being a sassy new version of yourself. That's how it's coming through, but it's surprising, it's unanticipated, it's unexpected. And it's happening very rapidly. There also could be somebody who is very attracted to you at the moment. Maybe he was otherwise taken. You are like the candy in the candy shop that you are not allowed to eat. And therefore, because they can't eat it, they want the candy. Okay? They're like, why can't I have the candy? But no. How much is that doggy in the window? It's like, no, you can't have it. You can't even afford it. You wish. Isn't it funny? We always want something we can't have. So anyway, you do have some success there. You're also, where it comes to your career, your aspirations, and your life and where you're going, you are not wanting to shortchange yourself this year. I try. You're like, I am not shortchanging myself. I want everything. But it's not from a greed context. It's from a spiritual evolution point of view. It's like wanting to achieve something great, wanting to do something bigger. There could be some study or something that you're involving yourself in at the minute. You're tired, you're mulling over how things could go. They're reference pointing there could be on, I think it's more on TF side. There could have been the passing of an individual. This feels more something that people maybe were aware of that was going to come, but it feels like an ancestor of some description. It could be on your side, but it feels more theirs. Does that make sense? It's so funny. I think a lot of people are moving into this year this way. It's like, is there any life in it yet? Do I defib it or do I keep walking? That's kind of what's being shown to me. They're saying you're actually coming out of the darkness into the light and you are going to receive your star. So, even though what you could be seeing is like, is this person valuing me? Am I waiting forever? Am I wasting my time? Is this person just a bloody player? It feels we're all going through this process. I honest to gospel feel that. So don't be surprised to feel like, do I defib it? Is there any defibbing left? Are they going to defib me the way it's going? You're going to get your star card. So if it's dark at the moment and you're not really sure, I'd persevere because this is what you're getting. Okay? This is what you're getting. Yeah. It's, you're like, is there any life? Yeah, okay. Is there any life? But yeah, as to chemistry, holy cow. I don't know what you've done. I don't know what's happened, but something's shifted. Something definitely has shifted. But look out also for, this could be otherwise taken individuals feeling quite taken by you. You'd be like, it could be somebody introduces you and there's a lot of chemistry and you're like, they're taken. And your friend says, or your family goes, they were winking at you. They were keen. And you're like, they're taken. Yeah, I don't know who you're challenging, but whatever this is, it's like they're being challenged to kind of, come your way. Walk this way. You'll have to tell me how that goes. I am deeply intrigued. Have you been studying? Because they had some reference to study there as well. Okay, Dawn. Get well, Dawn. Get well, Dawn. And any of you out there, no study, just ideas. Whatever it is, you're putting pen to paper, you're returning to it. And this is very common at the moment, that anything that we really didn't get going maybe from 2020, and now we're kind of like revisiting. It could have even been last year and the year prior. It's now you're revisiting it and go, okay, is there life in the same situation? Can we use the defib, refib? Can we resus? Do we have the right tools now? Most welcome. Last but not least, and then hit me with any questions for those of you left in the house at the very end, just general questions, and I'll answer anything if you're having some iffy things and viewing the transits, etc. And then I will hit the road. Okay. Most welcome. Good to see you. Oh, Dawn. Okay, you're like, what do I do? What do I connect to? Look, sweet, you are going to, I would say, especially at the moment with your card, your crowning energy, you're going to be very careful about what you are going to be investing in. You also can feel extremely run down. You could be feeling the pinch at the moment, especially with wealth and things like that. It is going to start flowing back through. You kind of waiting till Jupiter moves direct for you. So don't feel as though things aren't going to flow. Don't feel guilty if you're reassessing the things that you feel invested in, the things that you feel attracted to, where you're going, what you're doing. There is a great reset that is happening in your life spiritually, right? It hasn't been easy for you, I would say, since September. You are in a restructuring phase. Even when you're MIA, you really can't restructure, so recoup. Sometimes the universe does knock us down so that we don't react too early and we can kind of get the plans in order about where we're going and what we're doing. And I would say for you, where it comes to wealth, could you have something breaking down in your home, or could you be thinking about selling an asset and relocating? You could. Could this be a money coming towards you? Yes, it could be. It also could be a time when you are looking at your house and going, this doesn't resonate with me anymore. I'm ready to do this renovation, and really changing things about home-based businesses. Also, it could be something quite significant for you surrounding that. But also feeling like there are some conflicts within, your confidence, your feelings, your emotions, your body. It is going to shift. Take less on than maybe what you did last year, but I feel it's more centered around direction. It's like being very goal-orientated, role-orientated. I also feel your love life is going to be shifting quite significantly. You're going in a different direction. It's really quiet. It feels very quiet. There's a lot of reflection here. Your quiet space is being protected at this point in time. I do feel an interception through the quietness. This physically can be somebody coming to see you, somebody trying to communicate with you, but there's a deep quietness. I feel that they it's almost like they tune into you like a radio. You don't even have the will to fight. And what I mean by that is you don't want any conflict with someone. You're like, I'm too tired. I feel run down. I don't want to fight. Right now, everything feels like a challenge. I may need to do 3 cards for you as well. Interesting. Interesting. What's going on here? Who's this? You have a perspective at the moment to do with connections. You wish you had it better. You also wish your life was in a very different space to what it is. You do have the marriage card here. You could be thinking from a particular point in your life, a connection that you had versus where you are now, it's very different. This also directly just could be your priorities and the things that you need. Like, you could look at the whole ideal and the feeling around marriage in a very different way. But there is something that you are desiring to achieve this year, to have. Oh, you got 2 messages there. Okay. I don't think you're going to make sense of it until next week. It's almost like when you are tuning into somebody, especially when they're unwell, things can be quite pixelated. The context of what that person is actually thinking could come through like multiple stories. That's a lot of times I see that when a person is going through a great deal of shadow work. There's so many different stories going on. Your mind is extremely busy. You're thinking about your family, you're thinking about direction and career, conflict, a person that you're in love with, and how you feel about them. Being in the past, trying to go to the future. But because there's so much going on in the ethers in your own life and your own feelings, it's not giving you a whole context of where you directly are going. Not where you've been, but where you're actually going and what's going to eventuate in these dynamics. I feel this person coming in, something in them has shifted, and they're coming in to calm your energy down because it's very lost here. They're a bit worried about you, to be perfectly honest. You're looking at your home in the here and now, but you're looking at your life. You're like, what do I have? What do I have? What don't I have? You can have some anger coming up. But I would say by the end of January, huge shifts and confidence boost moving forward. I'm feeling more grounded, maybe needing to be at home for a little bit more, getting anchored in, communicating with people that are nurturing, loving and understanding, and trying not to take things surrounding home and family and connections too personal initially. Just really, really recover. But setting that firm foundation in. February so far, a bit more of a flow where it does come to, your direction of your connection. I feel this is more towards the end of February and what it's going to cause over how it's going to be the whole time. Creativity could take a little bit more of some time. There could be some subjects surrounding children coming up for you. I also feel, again, being cautious with, I would say, the yellow chakra, which, creativity can come through in a few ways. Sometimes creativity is us nesting on an egg, so we're sitting quite a bit. You need to move your chakras a bit more. But I'd say don't go into extreme exercise or anything like that. I would say until we do get Mars going direct. With your romantic connection as well, I do see some movement, but I do see ironing out of creases in February for you. You're also going to have some significant changes in March. And again, this is because we will be moving into eclipse season. So don't be surprised if you feel off axis, and where things are right now is not where they're going to be by the time we get to the end of March. But I don't get that as a bad thing, because what we thought we wanted versus what we get and then realize is so much better. I think we need to be open-minded, especially you for March, because I see some significant changes. I would do a little bit of a crystal grid around you, because, again, I do feel that your aura is quite low at the moment, but I do sense that you're going to have an unexpected visitor that's going to come in and actually step up for you in some shape or form. I hope that helps. Any questions before I love you all and leave you? As I'm heading out the door, I said I was going to mow the lawn today. I thought I heard it, and I was like, hell would freeze over before that would happen. TF is too used to me being organised. I gave it some special supplements, and it grows too much. One of the retrogrades over, mid-year. Okay, what retrograde? Which one? We had the nodes move. Okay, Jupiter can be to do with growth, expansion. You'll see that in wealth. You'll see that in travel. You'll see that in the education system, because it is in the house of Gemini. In AI, Sony also, we could actually look at Sony at the moment. They could be quite significant. At the moment in January, we have the full moon, and that's happening at 23 degrees. It's in the house of Cancer. We then have on January the 29th, and look out for that one, especially where it comes to earthquakes, changes in banking, volcanic activity. It is Uranus and energy, as well as Saturn. It's a new moon. It's in Aquarius. It's 9 degrees. I'll try and cover it for the end of the month. Mercury now is sitting in the house of Capricorn. It wasn't Sagittarius before. It's in its detriment at Sagittarius. It's too active. It's chalk and cheese. It's like Jupiter likes to think things out. Sagittarius is like, screw the thinking, let's just go. So we were too pixelated. It was oversaturation of information. Maybe also us feeling over-optimistic with things, or too much on our plate. But it was very Jupiter in nature. Now it's more structured in our thinking. We're more practical with how we're looking at things. What's the other thing? Then it moves into Aquarius, and that's going to be January 28th. So again, do expect, it could be lightning. It could be very monsoon, I would say. It's air, but it's Aquarius, but it's electrical. So, being careful with our electrics at the moment too. Venus in the house of Pisces, we do need to be careful of any habits and patterns. Not going into overindulgence with things, and this could be more pacifiers, so it could be smoking or drinking or substances, being really careful about what we're doing. But we also could have some value in tapping into that new North Node energy and investigating it. There could be some wealth that's attained. This also could be lotteries, and again, not financial plan, not financial advice, not medical advice. Mars left Leo. For you, you're probably happy, but now it's moved into Cancer. So wherever you have Cancer in your charts, as well as you, Leonix, is going to be, putting that pressure point on. It's not that the full moon is a bad moon. There are some challenges with it. We have full moons, we have new moons. This is a moon in which we currently also have Mars in Cancer. So home security, caring for our children, being aware. We can see Mars in Cancer. Cancer can be home, Mars can be fire, homes on fire, cups, children getting themselves into naughty things, getting themselves in trouble. Domestic violence could be coming up. So, and there's positive things with it as well. It's reflecting upon maybe building codes and what we can do differently. So wherever there's light, there's dark as well, right? So we're looking at both sides of the coin. During Mars's retrograde, the intent is to review, revisit, relook at. If, for instance, in your home and family, at a collective level, we can look at this. We had a very neutral, nonchalant, we can be more protective now. We may be more protective of our assets. We may be more protective or sensitive to our feelings, but it's showing you what's hidden. Jupiter is in retrograde till next month. Saturn's direct. Uranus moves direct, station direct the 30th. So with all that Aquarian energy and it linking to Uranus, expect the unexpected mid-month. You always get it in the halfway point before the end of the month. So this could be anything down to changes in the economy. It could be changes in weather patterns. It could be changes to do with wars that are happening. Something can be changing very quickly. Could actually be rags to riches. Could be AI. But whatever this is, it will affect everyone. But I do see it, moving very quickly. So I'd say about mid-month. Where would I say? You could even be feeling it now, to be perfectly honest. It will roll into the following month. So anyone that has points and placements of Aquarius and Leo, Taurus and Scorpio, you are going to be feeling it. I don't know why. You could probably reference it as intense as an eclipse, only because it's a few placements that are there, and it's sudden. Okay, so and those that are less inclined to accept radical sudden change, which not all of us are open. It's like an earthquake. Are you accepting of change? No, it just happens. Are we ready? Generally not. You might have built a building around that, but are you expecting it? No, you deal with it at the time. So It can be both, it could be positive or negative, but know that we are going to have a physical change in those areas of Aquarius, Leo, which, yes, we do have leaders changing, Leo. We do have AI changing. Regardless, the time frame I would say is from, I would say now until, I would say 2 weeks into February. As we move into anything else I need to tell you, that is, what else? Pluto's direct, it's in Aquarius. The nodes have shifted. And even though on here it said the 11th, it also said the 29th, they leave completely. Lilith at the moment is in Libra. It is going to shift as we move into February, March. It's like back to back, bang, bang, bang. We're having a lot happening. Planets direct. As soon as we have planets going direct, we have planets going retrograde, and they still are going to make the subject of Mars. So even though we've had Mars retrograde, Mars will continue sitting in the house of Cancer until, I believe, about April. So it's still going to be like an alien spaceship sitting over your head going, let's just focus on that one area. The thing is, when it's direct, we can pour the energy into that. When it's retrograde, we're tired and irritable. We still have to master those areas because it will move still between those two signs. So as soon as we have planets going direct, we move into February, we have planets starting to go retrograde. Mercury, Venus into March, some directs, some eclipses, some transitions of signs. This will not be a dull year. It's not going to be a dull year. If you do want a booking in for me to actually look at those points and placements in your chart and how to navigate it, all the links are directly below. You will at the moment, but you also can get very irritable as well. But it's like, look, I'm aware of the transits, but I also know that every little thing we do can count for the bigger picture. So I try and tweak and do small things a day, not just, lie down and go, oh, I'll do my homework when everything goes direct, because that's small pickings. We're having directs, we're having ingresses, it's about, yes, listening to your body. But if you're feeling well enough, even doing one task a day is going to be some forward momentum. Okay? I hope that helps. I hope that gives you guys some context. Feel free to join us for any of the lives we do. In the future, what we may be having is some energy updates. And those energy updates, there would be opportunities then to do the super chats at the end of the videos. But there is going to be a transition happening here at Yildiz Readings to do with the content I'm providing, to do with the information and the education videos. YouTube's also going through some significant changes, and that is where they are offering education channels. They're offering a point where you are going to be able to communicate inside the community tab, which already you can, but it's more you can actually directly comment on maybe a post that a Patreon, a channel has put up. It's going to be an opportunity where you directly can chime in and talk with other individuals. Not so much the same as maybe a private membership where you can actually have group chats. The other thing is, as I do transition the membership over, what it is going to do is provide those individuals with the notifications that they choose to set on. So if there's a webinar they want to go to, they can click the bell on that. If there's a cohort course or a seminar, they can connect that to their own personal calendar. And you generally will have the app where it gives you notifications within the network. The other benefit is to YouTube is those that directly are following and subscribed or just visiting the channel. I'm going to have less limitations where it comes to notifications, because already you're only really controlled down to 3 notifications in 24 hours. When you're trying to do that inside a membership, it's very difficult. And so you're having to stagger it, but you still have that limitation. So you're generally quite reluctant to put a post up, even though you may want to chime in and talk to the public or talk directly to the members that are supporting the channel. So this is a different way to maybe take some of that pressure off the channel and to be able to bring live content to YouTube and not to take those notifications and the grace of what it was initially away. So I hope this has helped. I'll have to retitle this video Astrology and Super Chats so that we can actually have that context. So thank you for joining, and I will see you for the new content hopefully very soon. So it's not I have forgotten. I haven't forgotten. I'm building it out in the background and pacing myself associated with the rebuild out of the channel and the membership and other things that I plan to launch this year. I'll see you soon.